A California father now demanding answers from Governor Gavin Newsom. This after ICE arrests an illegal immigrant who allegedly caused a multi-car pileup while driving an 18-wheeler. That crash last year severely injured 6-year-old Delilah Coleman, leaving her with critical and life-altering injuries. And her parents join us now, Marcus Coleman and Ileana Kraus. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry for what you and Delilah are going through. Marcus, could you start us here and just explain what happened and how your little girl has suffered after this?
Good morning. Yeah, she was involved in a vehicle accident last year on June 20th. And she was on her way to Victorville. We had a heat wave here in Bakersfield, 112 degrees that weekend. So she went up there to go swimming. And there was construction on the highway that she was on. They were at a dead stop. Multiple vehicles were sitting there waiting. And what they did was they closed off one lane to open up another lane and let traffic travel through one lane at a time. And the semi-truck failed to stop, smacked her vehicle first, as well as went through 4 other vehicles before coming to a complete stop. And my daughter was airlifted from Adelanto area, the Highway 395, all the way to Loma Linda Children's Hospital, where she stayed there for about a month and a half. And she was in a coma for about 3 of those weeks.
She's a beautiful child. Ileana, can you tell people a little bit about what she's going through in terms of continued injuries and the fact you have 2 other young children as well, and sometimes they're getting ahead of her?
Yes, we have a 3-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, and it seems like they're advancing a lot faster than she is at this point. She's receiving physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. She hasn't said much since the accident, if maybe 2-3 words. She has a TBI. She is now diagnosed with cerebral palsy and global developmental delay. She doesn't walk. She receives nutrition through a G tube.
Right.
Right
so she's
now,
going
we're
through
not
a lot.
very sure. Yeah, she's going through
Marcus,
a lot.
so somebody was arrested. Can you tell us about what you know in terms of who he is, and a little bit, please describe your attempts to get the attention of your governor?
Well, when the accident first happened, we had reached out to several parties. We reached out to the governor's office. I sent them several messages to their office via email. I called over there several times. I didn't get any response or anything like that. Pretty much like anybody inside the situation where we didn't know which way to go, who to complain to, or anything like that. A lot of people were kind of taken back that we were trying to reach out to the governor, like there was anything that he can do. We didn't know what could be done. But the driver was a 19-year-old or 20-year-old at the time. I think he had just turned 20. Here in California, you're allowed to get your Class A license at 18 years old, as long as you drive within the state, which me as a truck driver myself, I've been truck driving since 2017. And I've never been on board with, an 18-year-old having a commercial driver license, and for reasons like this right here. But no, we never did receive anything back from the governor. We never received a call back. We never received a governor's going to look into this. We didn't receive anything.
Even
and
a courtesy.
I had actually sent them a letter. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And I sent them a letter to several news agencies, and even outside news agencies didn't want to pick this up. To them, it was, oh, this is, a Southern California issue. Why are you reaching out to us here in Sacramento? And in the letters to them, I stated, I was like, this isn't a shooting in East LA or a hurricane on the coast. This isn't anything. This is a truck driver that drives all over the United States. And this can happen anywhere where there's a road, and I sat there and I kept sending these out, and I didn't get any response. And then all of a sudden, the accident in Florida happened, and I got 3 news agencies that looked me back up and called me just to see if they were related, if the driver of my daughter's accident was the same driver as the accident that happened in Florida. And I was like, oh, no, because the last names were the same. I was like, no, it's not the same guy. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they just dropped the story.
Well, we are proud to tell your story. It's really deeply affected me and Bill as we read about it and learned more about it. admire your strength. I just want to read one thing to everybody here. This is from Christy Nome. She said that this is sadly another example of Gavin Newsom's California Department of Motor Vehicles issuing an illegal alien a commercial driver's license. How many more innocent people must become victims before Gavin Newsom stops playing games with American lives? Ileana, let me give you one more chance to just close us out here. In the time that we have, and you have everyone's attention, what do you want people to know about your sweet daughter?
She didn't deserve this. She was a very sweet girl, and she still is. And you could see that light of her still shining through, but we miss who she was.
And you need some help. She needs a lot of care. And I know that
She
you're doing
does.
a lot
She
of
has
it,
a
but
lot of
it's not
therapy,
easy to do it all on your own.
wheelchair. It's not. He has to take off work so many times throughout the week just because I don't have the strength to lift up a wheelchair on my own.
Yep.
Like you stated, I have two smaller children, and it's hard. This is not how we imagine life.